Good evening, everyone. Dean again from SEOtuition.com. What I wanted to talk tonight about is search engine optimization in its very simplistic form. Now, what we are looking at here is a nice shiny page of google.co.uk, or it could be google.com. Now, notice we have got a search bar, and this really is where everything starts from. And this isn't just a search bar. This controls millions and billions of pages that Google hide behind this search bar. Now, there is one thing that Google, Yahoo, Bing, Microsoft, Amazon, the greatest minds, the greatest companies in the world cannot control, and that is what we type in. Now, what I really want to hit home to people tonight is something I devise, and it's known as the plus theory. Now, when we type something into Google, we are looking for a response, usually an answer, usually information. And what I mean by this is that when we type a search word in, it's never, as a general rule, going to be on its own. Now, we would not want to type in the word golf. Okay? We would always want something on top of it. For example, golf clubs, golf balls, golf irons, okay? Golfing holidays, golf courses. But again, it goes further. People will add locations to their searches. So it could be golf irons in their particular city. They could go further and add words such as where to find cheapest golf clubs. And the point I'm making here is that we as individuals, as human beings, are very inquisitive by nature. And we are going to want an accurate response from the search engines. Now, why would we want to type in the word holidays, or the word rugby, or football, or Xbox, or microwave, or car parts, or cars, or weddings? Because those words are so generic, we are not getting a specific response. And what we want, guys, from search engines as human beings is a response, an answer to something that we desperately want. Now, search engine optimization is literally an art. It's about getting into the minds of people. And we can speak all day about the wonderful methods that we can employ, and the wonderful ways that we can add different sets of content and social media and backlinking procedures and all kinds of image coding techniques. I mean, I know them all myself. But what I want you to realize is the most simplistic principles of all. And that is what we type into a search engine. And we are looking for information. So where we can build up brilliant amounts of traffic is by getting into the minds of people and really looking for what they are going to type for any given subject. Now, let's say that we were just talking about cars. Let's say, okay, that we could possibly be building a site to sell our own vehicles if we owned a car company, or we could be more likely an end user who wants to buy a car, which is, there's millions of searches every day for people who want to buy cars. Now, we would not type in, and let's face it, cars. I mean, why would we want to type in cars? I mean, it's just irrelevant. It's not telling us anything because we as users are using the search engines for a reason. We've taken the effort to plug the machine into the wall, to turn on the internet, to fire up Google or our favourite search engine to get some information out of it. And what we want is specific information. So people are more than likely going to type in a particular brand of car they're looking for. Okay, so for example, they could be looking for a Toyota Avensis. Okay, right, now then we get results on Toyota Avensis. Right, we could be adding cheap Toyota Avensis. Okay, Google tells us real search terms that people have typed in. Cheap used Toyota Avensis for sale. Okay, now the list is ad infinitum, and the art of search engine optimization of SEO comes into really finding out what people are typing in. So we've got to look at the adverbs, the verbs, the nouns, the doing words, and the locality. People love to search by locality because most people, including myself, are instant people. We want instant gratification. We want answers now. Now, you may think, okay, that people like Argos, companies like Argos and huge companies over the world are hogging the top of Google. And I would not argue with that. But we can still ride off these top companies, okay? So if we were, for example, building a site on electrical goods, which we know that Argos sell an awful lot of electrical goods, well, we could use the term on our site, okay? Cheap electrical goods, okay? Just spell that right. Electrical goods, okay? From, and we could use Argos, okay? Right? There is nothing wrong with us leveraging that key phrase onto our website to gain traffic. There is no law against that, okay? Now, we could, for example, put in, okay, cheapest cars from, okay, auto trader. Okay, there is nothing wrong with actually doing that whatsoever. So in it goes. And again, we're leveraging the power of the Auto Trader brand, and that would be included in our website, and that would gain us traffic. I mean, there's 586,000 results there. So what I'm saying is that as a general rule, people will put a keyword plus another query, and this is why I call it the plus theory. So people will type in keywords plus more information every single time they use a search engine. You think carefully about the last search you did in Google. I mean, what were you really looking for, and what did you really type in? Did you decide that you wanted some aftershave and you just typed in aftershave? Yeah? Or would you have done what I might have done? Type something like best smelling after shaves, okay? Now that is giving us more information on what we actually want. So the point I'm making is that there is a lot behind search engine optimization, and it all starts very much from this shiny blank space. And what we type in here is what is going to come out. And there are billions of variations, and no company in the world can control what I am going to type in here. So your whole world as SEO consultants, or as people who want to gain traffic, starts from the very heart of the search bar. And always remember the plus theory. It's going to be a keyword plus something. So it's going to be cars for sale. There's the keyword. Okay, if we just get that right, cars for sale. Now then, we could be typing in London. Okay, right? We could be saying cars for sale. Okay, Birmingham. Okay, so there it is, keyword plus something else. Now then, the something else could be cars for sale cheapest, right? People do type these things, okay? Or we could turn it round, okay? And we could say cheapest cars for sale, okay, in the UK. But there it is again. It's the keyword plus something. And in this case, it's in the UK. And we, as SEO consultants, have really got to get to grips with what is going on here. And when we dig down very deep into the minds of people, and we become, if you like, amateur psychologists, we can really start to build up effective campaigns. And this is why I don't endorse generic keywords. A lot of people will say, well, you need Xbox, or you need cars, you need holidays. Well, no, you really don't. Because who is going to type in holidays? It's going to be holidays plus something. So, for example, we could put in holidays by all means, and let's face it, we're going to type Spain, okay? Or we're going to type Tenerife, okay? Or we're going to go further, and we're going to possibly put in at the beginning, because we all want to save money, and we've got to look at these things, cheapest holidays. So the point I'm making, we've got your keyword, but it's always going to be enshrouded by other words. And this is the plus theory. It's adding terms, or whatever you want to call it, everyday terms, everyday questions around your keywords. And this is so important to grasp. This is why I decided to build a very quick video on it, just so you can get the actual way people think. Now, I know my methods of teaching, I do talk an awful lot, and I do reiterate, and I do go over things a lot, but people tend to love me for the way I teach. And, you know, it's my job to hammer home to you that really what you type into a search engine is going to be some kind of question that is going to evoke a response that you want. The word holidays, the word golf, the word cars is certainly going to give you billions of information on those keywords, but not what you're looking for. And all of us use search, okay? That's the term, that's the company Google is a search company. And we are always searching for something specific. Lots of people use terms such as where to find, okay? Other people will say how to, and there could be a million different things. And here we are. I mean, it's actually coming up. Google are telling you, and we've covered this in a topic known as Google Instants, when Google tell you some of the biggest searches, okay? Other people could type in ways too, and here we are. It's telling us make money, okay? So what I'm saying, people don't usually just type in make money, okay? they're going to be typing in how to make money, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, you get the point I'm making here, guys. So search is very, very important on a psychological level. And believe me, when you get good at this, you can beat anybody in the entire world. It doesn't matter how clever, how intelligent, how much competence you've got on the internet, all becomes nothing if you can get into the minds of the general public as a whole. That is what will make you stand out as SEO experts, because the terms that you get right, such as how to, okay, or for example, cheapest, okay, cars in Wales. Okay, when you are nailing these keywords and building them into the content of your website, it is this that is going to gain you enormous amounts of traffic. It is not the generic words. Okay, if we were looking for Xbox, we would not type in Xbox. I mean, why? Human beings want information. We're going to be looking for cheapest Xbox consoles, okay? Right, there it is again, your keyword and my plus theory. In this case, we've got cheapest and we've got consoles. The keyword is always prefixed or suffixed with a question or with something that we as users want out. And remember, use the power of the companies who are already at the top of Google. We always see Gumtree hanging around there. We always see eBay hanging around there. It's an unfortunate world, but these big companies are always at the top. The reasons they're there, I suspect, is because they've got contracts with Google and other search engines. They're there because they've got massive advertising budgets where they use pay-per-click. And they are there because they've got huge Alexa rankings. And we've just got to accept that. So leverage the power. Okay? So, for example, if you were optimizing a jewelry site or you had jewelry for sale, we could say, right, we could use a keyword on our site, okay? And it could quite easily be cheapest, okay, jewelry, okay, there it is, right? And then, okay, we will put in from eBay. Now then, right, sorry, let's just get that right, guys. eBay. So there is nothing wrong with using the power of eBay on our website. Right, so this term would be on our website. And if we did a specific search, like we've covered in our previous lessons, we would see, okay, that there are no results found here for the cheapest jewelry from eBay. So, by using this particular keyword, okay, we have got a one heck of a chance of going straight to the top of Google. So what I'm saying, guys, is start looking at my theory that I call the plus theory. Words before the keywords, words after the keywords. Look at human beings as inquisitive creatures. And believe me, this system works. I've used it for many years. And you will create massive amounts of traffic and leave all your competitors with all their fancy stuff in the dust. Because ultimately, no one can control what we are going to type into there. And I'm sure that these big companies with all of their glittering boardrooms have many, many meetings on how to work out what we're going to type in there. But I'm sorry, folks, there's over 6 billion of us on this planet, and most of us are going to type in different things to get different answers for different subjects. So the message of this lesson is, don't just look at the keyword, look at everything that goes after it and before it. Look for common terms and remember the nature of human beings, okay? We all want things for nothing. We all want the cheapest goods. We all want the best goods, okay? We all want to follow our role models, right? Try to look at what human beings really are as a general rule, and you will find astonishing results when you come to building out your actual pages and when you start actually building out your web pages. So that was a lesson that I hope I have just hammered through to you, that no one can control this blank box. And sitting behind this little blank box are billions of web pages across millions of servers across the entire world. But what we type in is what we get out. And if you guys can work out roughly what we're typing in with a little bit of research, that is what is going to take you to number one. It's going to take you to traffic. And traffic is everything. Without traffic, there is nothing. And this is why one of my videos later on will be entitled Pretty Websites Don't Rank. Pretty websites don't rank. So I will leave you with those thoughts for this evening, and try to get into the minds of people now, and remember the little white box, and remember the plus theory. So thanks very much for listening, guys. I've enjoyed this time very much.